Hi, writers! We've been doing such a good job of being brave spellers, guess and go spellers. We learned about the stretchy snake technique, where we take, just like with a rubber band, as like our idea of taking that word and then stretching it so we can hear all the sounds in that word, and then writing down the sounds that we hear to try and figure out what that word is and how to spell it. What we're going to talk about today is called Chunky Monkey. And so in your writing folders, we have a page. So we learned about stretchy snake, and now we're learning about chunky monkey. And so what chunky monkey does is takes a word into chunks. And so, for instance, if you looked at Noel, we know that the Noel has syllables, no-L. So you might look inside of my name at those different chunks. You chunk it up. And so here is where the hands are helping you to think about chunking it up into different like pieces and into different maybe even words that are within the word. So here's an example. So here's the word. What word is that? Well, if we're looking at it, do you see that there's a word inside of that word? What word do you see inside of that word? Do you recognize a word within that word? At. And so here we have at. And so that can be one chunk is at. So now we just have to figure out what goes before. It's an H, and H just says the, so if we put them together, at, hat. And so that way you're making the word chunks so that you can figure out what it is. Okay, so let's see. If you're trying to maybe spell a word, let's say you're trying to spell the word sit. Like I want my dog to sit. Sit, it. Ah, do you notice that inside of the word sit, it has the it? So I might put the it. And then what comes first? Sit, s. And so I made this into two different chunks. I have the it, and then I have the s for sit. Okay? So what you can do is you can either maybe clap out sounds, or you can chunk it up like we do in our morning videos for literacy, or you can think about and listen to the different words that you might hear within the word. And so those are a couple techniques for chunky monkey. So today for your writing, when you're writing, you can think of an idea. You can use your things that are good for ideas of what to write. You can use your writing topics. Always be adding to your writing topics. And then when you have an idea, use your story hand. Characters, location, 3 details, and then your feelings about the story. You want to go tell somebody what you're going to be writing about. You can do a short illustration, maybe to get your mind working on all the details that are going to be in that story, and then set a goal and set a timer and get writing. Remember, our expectations for Writer's Workshop are the same pretty much as reading. So we want to make sure we get started right away. We want to read the whole time. We want to stay in one spot, write quietly, and at the end, if you've been able to write that whole time, then you get to fill out your writing stamina chart for how many minutes you wrote for. So make sure that every day you're taking this out and you're adding minutes. You should see your chart going up, up, up as we build that muscle, build your writing stamina muscle until you can get to 20. Our class goal right now is 11 minutes. So I want you to try and write for 11 minutes. If you can't do it the whole time, that's okay. We're still working on it, but I want you to really try. And if you can write more than that, great, keep going. Write for as long as you can. And then you want to make sure you have an illustration, that you're being brave and you're including illustrations that even if you're like, I'm not exactly sure how to draw this, I'm going to try my best. And you're going to be brave with your spelling and just do guess and go spelling. And if you don't know how to spell a word and you just did your best guess, underline it. Underline it so maybe you can go back later and you can fix it if you think, oh wait, I think I got this down. Or maybe you can ask someone later. But I don't want you asking how to spell all the words, because you're not going to learn that way. Do you remember Angie's video where she was talking about how, if a baby never learned to walk, how they just have to be carried everywhere? Same thing, right? We need to do our own writing, our own guessing, because that's how we learn. And it's hard at first, but we keep practicing it and practicing it. And sometimes you still make mistakes. I make spelling mistakes still, sometimes. And that's okay, because I'm still learning too. We're all still learning. All right, writers, good luck. Have fun writing.